Welcome to the LFC Transfer Room. I'm Jack, here today to talk about some transfer rumors for Liverpool. For one player in specific, Raphinha from Leeds. There's some rumors linking him recently to the current Premier League champions as a potential option as depth for their forward three. So today, I'm going to take a look at a bit of some of his stats, how he compares to current Liverpool forwards, other forwards in the Premier League, and how he would overall look if he was to make the move to Merseyside. Before we get too far into this video, make sure to subscribe. Join the team, almost 700 subscribers already on the channel. Go and do that, and then watch the rest of this video. Alright, so overall, look at Raphinha, first of all. Some overall biographical specs. You have a 24-year-old Brazilian, plays on the right wing as a right-footed guy. In 22 appearances this season in the Premier League, has 5 goals and 5 assists, 10 goal contributions in 22 matches. He's quite good, especially for a mid-table side like Leeds United. This is his first year in the Premier League as well, signed for £17 million from Rennes in October, so already making that adaptation to the Premier League very, very quickly. Good positive signs from him there. So in Leeds, obviously, he has to make a lot of defensive and aggressive contributions because if you aren't willing to put in the work at Leeds, Marcelo Bielsa is not going to play you. So he has that aspect of his game. How is he as a creator, as a goal scorer, and as a progressor of the ball? So let's compare him to some other options across the Premier League. So right here you see him compared to Marcus Rashford, Sadio Mane, Diogo Jota's stats from last season when he was at Wolves, which is a very similar player if you ask me, and Raphinha as well. The reason I included Marcus Rashford is because he's also been rumors linking Raphinha to Manchester United due to his connection with Bruno Fernandes, and they're arguably the other big side jostling for the signing of Raphinha. We'll get to that a bit later. Let's look at some stats. So you see the overall blue circle of Raphinha is actually quite good in comparison to these guys in a number of stats. Most notably, expected assists, key passes, passes into the final third, passes into the penalty area, progressive passes, and shot creating actions. Now that's in comparison to Mane this year, Rashford this year, and Jota of last season. So those are some pretty tough competition to be stacking up against, and he's got some really good numbers in all of those areas. Now these are per 90s in comparison to other forwards, attacking mids, and wingers in the Premier League this season, according to Football Reference. One area he kind of falls a bit flat in is his dribbles and his ability to take on a defender. Not quite as good in that regard in comparison to these other players, and his goals and assists are just slightly under the 3 in terms of goals and just behind Rashford in the assists. Big difference though, in terms of his comparison to Rashford for creating goals, he is just under him in actual assists, but in terms of expected assists, he dwarfs Marcus Rashford. So you make that logical connection if he plays with Mohamed Salah, Sadio Mane. No disrespect to Bamford and other Leeds forwards, but they're better finishers, better talented players there. So if he plays with some more high quality players, who knows if he could have even better numbers there. So what I like about these overall is they get a good mixture of abilities in a number of areas that Liverpool kind of lack in. For Mane and Jota, they don't create as well as Raphinha does, and that could make a very interesting blend. You want to rest Salah maybe one week, play Raphinha on the right, Jota down the middle, and Mane on the left. And you've got a side that has 2 great goal scorers, players who can dribble in Jota and Mane, and you've got a creator in Raphinha, which would be a really nice foil for those two that can kind of work off of them very well. I like that he's not overperforming his expected goals or his expected assists. He's actually underperforming very slightly in both of those numbers, which indicates that this is very sustainable for him. He's getting the opportunities, he's creating the opportunities, and these are numbers that we could see him replicated in similar minutes, in similar opportunities for Liverpool next season. So those are kind of some of his numbers, how he looks. He's being rumored to be joining Liverpool as well as Manchester United. It'd probably be, the starting point would be double what they paid for him from last summer. So you would imagine 35 million to 40 million pounds is where you would begin the negotiations if you're Leeds. Recently, they've had their ex-players saying they don't want to lose him. They want to keep hold of him because they're trying to build something at Leeds. So it would take a bit of money to persuade him. But if you're not able to get the leagues of the Kylian Mbappes or the Erling Haalands, Raphinha is not too bad. And he reminds me a lot of when Liverpool signed Diogo Jota and Sadio Mane. So what are your thoughts on that potential signing, and how would you feel if he made the move to Liverpool, and how much would you pay for him if offered the chance to sign Raphinha? But that's all I've got for you today on Raphinha. Make sure to watch some Leeds matches if you want to get a bit more of a look at him. But for myself, Jack, this has been some more content from the LFC Transfer Room. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Take care.